Namaskar and hello. Welcome to Sri Devi Classes YouTube channel, a channel which inculcate interest and understanding in science and engineering education by building strong core competency by clarity of concepts and right understanding. Today in our playlist, class 12th physics, we'll study electric field intensity and potential calculations by a uniformly charged infinite long line charge or a cylindrical charge. Let's start. We have to find out electric field of a very long uniformly charged straight line with linear charge density lambda coulomb per meter at its middle position. For this long line charge at perpendicular bisector with normal r distance, we have an observation point P, and for symmetry of this central position we consider two elemental length dl to the both sides of this central point at identical L distance. Such elemental dl length can be treated as a point charge of amount lambda dl, and at smaller distance from this elemental length point charge, radial outward electric field contribution is given by Coulomb's law as k q upon r square, and for elemental charge lambda dl, elemental electric contribution d is given as k lambda dl over r square, and it is radial outward. Similarly, for this elemental length dl having charge lambda dl, which is treated as point charge, elemental electric contribution is shown by this blue arrow in again radial outward direction. For these two symmetrical positions, if we take resolve component of these electric field along this axial length of charge, then these two component, one of A and second of B, are equal and opposite, so we'll get cancel out. And for this mid position, we got identical amount of charge to both sides, and such electric contributions will produce equal and opposite components along this axial line. But those component of electric field which are along this perpendicular bisector radial line, we call this line as X line. So that component of all electric contributions comes in the same direction. So due to same direction, we can say resultant electric field of this uniformly charged line is the sum of these radial components. So elemental length dl at position A having charge lambda dl produce electric field component D at a distance r in radial outward direction equal to k lambda dl r square, and its component along this perpendicular mid sector line is called as DEX component. And if this angle is theta between electric field contribution and this mid bisector x axis line, then this resolve component is cos theta component, and the total electric field of this entire long length can be obtained by integration. And if this length of line is 100 or even more times of this perpendicular distance capital R, then this length can be treated as an infinite length, and from minus infinity to plus infinity limits, the total electric field is obtained by this integration. Now here this length section, this distance of observation position, and this angle of electric field component and x-axis all are variable. To make integration convenient, we have to convert all these variable in one variable form, and for that we will use this perpendicular distance of observation position capital R, and in this triangle L and R got a relation of tan theta. L is equal to R tan theta, and when we differentiate, dl will become R sec square theta d theta, as tan theta differentiation with theta is sec square theta. So in place of dl we can write R sec square theta d theta. Similarly, this small r and this capital R with this theta got a relation of sec theta. Small r is capital R sec theta. So in place of r square we can write R square sec square theta. Now with these modification, both small l and small r get converted in terms of theta and capital R. Now this r in numerator and r square in denominator, when simplify, will produce 1 r in denominator, and this k lambda and that r being constant come out of integration. Sec square theta get cancel out, and it become integration of cos theta with respect to theta, and formula of cos theta integration is sin theta, and limit will taken back. Once we take theta equal to plus 90, then we'll change sign of sin theta, and for theta and theta value minus 90 is taken, and sin plus 90 is plus 1, and sin minus 90 is minus 1, and when 1 is subtracted from minus 1 we'll get 2, and resultant electric field in this axial line comes as 2k lambda over r. So strength of electric electric field here is directly proportional to linear charge density lambda and is inverse proportional of this perpendicular radial distance of observation position from axis of line charge, that is capital R. If this length is not infinite but finite and only 2r, then at this mid bisector position this angle will become 45 each, and with 45 limits plus 45 and minus 45 will get electric field of this limited 2r length of line charge density lambda as root 2 times k lambda over r. That means this small length section of 2r length will produce electric field at this r distance position p 1 by root 2 times of infinite length, and it is true. Elemental length near this perpendicular bisector got small r, this value small, so will have higher electric field contribution, and their resolve component along x got higher value of cos theta, so higher numeric value, whereas far away position will have small electric field contribution due to large value of small r distance, and resolve component also becomes smaller, so only 2r length will produce 70% amount of electric field contribution and remaining infinite length will contribute only 30% additional electric effect. But interesting point is that for long straight line uniformly charged section, electric field at mid position is radial outward for positive charge and radial inward for negative charge. This electric field calculation become quite easy when we use symmetry of charge distribution and use Gauss law for electric field calculation. We have given a infinite long uniformly charged line charge with linear charge density lambda coulomb per meter, and to middle positions we have to find out electric field at a perpendicular small r distance from its central axis at this observation position p, and to make electric field calculation by Gauss law we'll construct a closed Gaussian surface passing through this observation position p, and for such line charge, or if this charge is even a cylinder with this same axis, a Gaussian surface would be a cylindrical surface with same axis passing through observation position p. So closed Gaussian surface will have three surfaces, one this top circle, second is this bottom circle, and third is this peripheral cylindrical surface. Now the total amount of flux passing through this Gaussian surface is closed surface integration of surface electric field intensity, and this total integration over this entire closed surface is divided in three portions. One is top circle, second is bottom circle, and third is side cylindrical surface. And as per Gauss law, this is equal to total enclosed charge which is within Gaussian surface as shown by these shaded positions divided by permittivity of surrounding media, and those charges which are outside of Gaussian surface will not contribute any flux across this Gaussian surface. Now for these top and bottom surface, if we see radial electric field vector and surface area vector which is normal to the surface and outward, then the angle between E vector and area vector is 90 degree, and due to that 90 degree angle, the dot product of E and area at top and bottom positions will become 0. That is also true. If we see planar diverging radial outward force lines of this line charge, they are not crossing this top circular section of this closed Gaussian surface. There is no flux crossing or amount of flux from top and bottom. So all flux crossing is across this cylindrical section, and at cylindrical section radial outward electric field and perpendicular radial outward area vector are in the same alignment. So this dot product with cos 0 is angle between electric field vector and area vector as it is indicated here. Cos 0 is 1. So this dot product become a simple multiplication of electric field and elemental area, and total can be obtained by integration over this entire cylindrical surface. Due to symmetry of this radial electric field, all cylindrical positions are at same distance from axis of this line charge, so they got identical magnitude of electric field. So electric field magnitude being constant will come out of integration, and this becomes just summation of cylindrical surface area for r radius of observation position. This circular periphery is 2 pi r, and length of Gaussian surface is if L, then this cylindrical Gaussian surface is 2 pi rl. So total flux from this cylindrical surface is electric field over cylinder surface multiplied by total cylindrical surface area, and as per Gauss law it is total enclosed charge divided by permittivity, and if charge per unit length is lambda and this length of Gaussian cylinder is small l, then the total enclosed charge is lambda l, and if we simplify simplify this relation, this small l at both numerator side will get cancel out, and this 2 pi r when come to the denominator side in other part, then electric field will become lambda upon 2 pi epsilon r. We can remember this formula, or we can make for numeric calculation division and multiplication of 2 at numerator and denominator, and 1 upon 4 pi epsilon become k, or 9 into 10 power 9, and this relation become 2k lambda over r. So for line charge density lambda at a perpendicular distance r in mid positions, electric field of infinite long line charge is inverse of radial distance. This is also clear from this pictorial representation of diversion of electric force lines, and the density of force lines or strength of electric field decreases as we move away from source line charge. So radial outward electric field of this uniformly charged positive infinite line charge with linear charge density lambda coulomb per meter is lambda upon 2 pi epsilon r, or 2k lambda over r, is an inverse function of r, and this can be confirmed as we have two cylinder, one of r radius and second of 2r radius of same length, then both enclose same amount of charge, so both will have same amount of flux, but surface area of this 2r radius cylinder is 2 times of inner cylinder, so flux density become half at 2r distance. So intensity of electric field become half at 2r distance, or is inverse function of radial distance from axis of line charge. The same electric field will result if this line charge is a cylinder with linear charge density lambda coulomb per meter, and these distances are measured from axis of that cylindrical charge distribution. So for all external observations, we can conclude a cylindrical charge will act like a line charge acting from its central axis. We can find out electric potential difference in this electric field, and we know if a unit positive charge is moved from r1 position, which is far away from this positive line charge, to a closer r2 distance position, then in electric field elemental displacement dr will need elemental work minus e dr. Here negative sign is used because the elemental displacement is opposite to the direction of electric field. So against radial electric field, when we move from far away position to closer position, elemental work when integrated with limits will result in potential difference. In place of E, we can write 2k lambda over r minus 2k lambda, all r constant will come out of integration, and 1 over r when integrated with respect to r will have a formula natural log r, and limits are taken to the back side. Once for r we write r2, then we change sign and put r equal to r1. With negative sign, natural log r1 become positive and natural log r2 become negative. At this difference in natural log become natural log of ratio r1 is to r2, and the potential difference become 2k lambda natural log ratio of r1 is to r2. If r1 is higher, we move from far away position to a nearer r2 position. This ratio is more than 1. This natural log is positive, and we do positive potential difference. That's also true, as for positive charge, electric force lines are radial outward, and force lines are directed from high potential to low potential. So far away r1 distance position is at low potential, and when we move closer to this line charge, we make a positive potential difference. For a very long charged conductor cylinder, all charge will remain only on its outer surface, and there won't be any internal charge distribution whether the cylinder is solid or hollow. For all external observations, when we construct a Gaussian surface to find out electric field at a external position r, which is greater than radius of conductor cylinder capital R, then the total amount of flux depends on total enclosed charge, and it won't depend upon charge distribution. And for this cylindrical surface of Gaussian surface, this internal charge distribution got a symmetry, so everywhere on the surface electric field magnitude will remains the same, and that magnitude is equal to same electric field which is produced by a line charge which will act from central axis with same line charge density lambda upon 2 pi epsilon r, or 2k lambda over r. So a cylindrical charged conductor and a line charge, both with same linear charge density, produce identical electric field for external observation position. But for internal positions, if we construct a Gaussian surface to find out electric field at r dash distance, which is less than radius of charged conductor cylinder, then in this Gaussian surface total amount of flux coming out from Gaussian surface is equal to closed surface integration of electric field intensity. For top and bottom, radial electric field won't produce flux crossing. So flux crossing is only across cylindrical surface, and for symmetry, when we take E out as constant from integration, and Gaussian cylindrical surface got a area 2 pi r dash L, and it is equal to total amount of charge enclosed upon permittivity. And since there is no internal charge, all charge reside only on outer surface, so amount of flux become 0. Now product of electric field intensity and Gaussian surface area is 0, and Gaussian surface got a non-zero value, so only possibility is that internal electric field in this cylindrical section is 0. So a charge conductor cylinder for all internal position have 0 electric field, and for external observation it will act just like a line charge acting from central axis. With this example, we can very well explain planar radial diverging electric field of uniformly charged line charge and explain its electric field strength got a inverse of distance relationship. We have given a test negative q charge at a distance r from central axis of this line charge having linear charge density lambda and produce 2k lambda over r electric field. This positive charge produce radial outward electric field. Now this negative charge will have a electrostatic attraction force q into E. Now if this charge moves in tangential direction in a circular orbit, then this circular displacement got 90-degree angle with direction of force. When force and displacement are mutually perpendicular, there won't be any work done by electric field. So kinetic energy of this moving particle will remains the same. Now in this motion, when this mass particle m moves with v velocity, it will have a centrifugal outward force mv square upon r, and if outward centrifugal force and inward electrostatic force become equal and opposite, then that equilibrium will have this relationship, and here r in identical denominator position will get cancel out, and equilibrium circular motion velocity square got this relation which is independent of r. So a particle with this v velocity can make circular motion around this line charge of lambda charge per unit length with mass m and charge q having this v square relationship. So for all radial distance position, if this particle got this velocity, it could make circular motion with equilibrium of centrifugal forces and centripetal electrostatic forces. Now in circular motion, time period of circular motion is given by periphery divided by velocity, and since velocity is constant for all radius circular motions, so time period become directly proportional to radius of circular motion. Now we hope you can understand electric field of uniformly charged line or a cylindrical charge. For cylindrical charge there is no internal electric field, and for external electric field, a cylindrical charge or a line charge both act in an identical manner, and for perpendicular distance from axis of line charge or cylinder, the electric field is radial outward and is equal to 2k lambda over r, where lambda is linear charge density. Our other learning video of same playlist will enhance your physics understanding and remove all sort of confusions. That's what required for a success in examination. Thank you for viewing this video. We'll meet again with a similar informative learning video. Thank you very much.